Alrighty. We are live. Hello, everyone. Let me plug my phone up here. I get the charger here. Okay. There we go. Alright. Alrighty then. Bible. Hey, probably. How you doing? It's good to see you. Well, we would have a guest, but I'm not bringing Sargon back up because Sargon just likes to crash out. Actually, you know what? I will bring Sargon back up just for my audience. All right, Sargon. So, what pronouns do you go by?
Can't you hear the sound of my voice?
Sound of your voice tells me that you're an it. How about that? How about you're an it now?
Sure, you can call me whatever you like. I don't give a fuck.
Sargon, I need your pronouns, or else we can't have this
You
conversation.
can hear the sound of my voice. You can tell what I am.
Okay,
I
so
already told
Sargon,
you
if
I'm a
you
man.
can't answer, if you can't, a man's not a pronoun. You already know this. I know you're smarter than that. Actually, no, you're probably not. That's my mistake.
Well, if you're a man, what would you call a man?
I would call you an it specifically.
No, but what would you call a man?
I'd call you an it.
I know, but what would you call a man, though?
If you can't answer simple questions,
What
I'll
is a man?
unfortunately just have to assume that
Do
you're
you
an
understand
it.
what a man is?
It's sure as hell it's not you. That's for damn sure.
If I'm a man, then obviously, what do you think my pronouns will be, you dumbass? That's
You're gonna be
common
an
sense.
it.
Even a 5-year-old would know those things.
Sargon, hey bitch, are you a Christian? Are
Weird
you a
boy, what do you
Christian?
think?
Are you a Christian bitch? Are you a Christian bitch?
Even a 5-year-old has common
Hey
sense to
bitch,
understand that.
bitch. Are you Christian? See, if you're gonna disrespect me, I'll disrespect you back. I don't give a fuck.
Piss on you, you faggot.
So you can use slurs now. That's a Christian, everyone. Sargon is a Christian,
That's
and
not
he
a
uses
slur. That's the
slurs.
truth.
That's exactly why you should not be a Christian, because Christians use slurs. That's the reason you shouldn't be a Christian. So
You
Sargon,
are what you are.
so Sargon, you can go fuck yourself and you get out of here. You're not welcome here, Sargon. I knew we could get him to crash out. I knew he would. I knew he would crash out immediately. I knew he would. There's no talking to that person. I don't even know if he's a Christian or not. He seems like one, but I think he might just be a troll. Either way, he's a fucking moron. Oh well. Yeah, exactly, Maya. Man is a noun, not a pronoun. He's too uneducated to know that. Someone without a name, actually they do have a name. Let me click their profile to see what their name is. That way I can. Their name is Behave. So they ask, are you in a different religion? No, I'm an atheist. I don't have a religion. Let's see. We'll bring up that person. All right. So Behave. Are you at least 18 years of age?
Yeah. I'm 20.
Okay. And
I'm
what
20.
what pronouns do you go by?
I think I'll just go by pronouns that every man goes by.
Well, not every man goes by a specific pronoun. That's
Yeah, well,
completely
that's gay
incorrect.
people, brother. I'm straight.
I don't care whether you're straight or not. It has nothing to do with being gay or straight. I go by
Yeah,
pronouns.
well, I just told you what I am, brother. I'm
No, you
whatever
didn't.
identifies as an adult man.
Okay, well, adult man is not a pronoun, so sorry.
Yeah, well, I don't need pronouns to identify myself, brother. I know
Because
myself.
I have two preliminary questions, and they have
You
to
can
be
call me
answered
whatever you want, brother. It doesn't faze me.
before we can have a conversation, they have to be answered. So, what pronouns do you go by?
Want me to identify as a cat or a dog? Which one?
Whatever. That's not a pronoun. Those
I'll
are
say
species.
cat.
Those are species. So I'll educate you. That's okay.
Okay, so I'll identify as the sun and the moon, brother.
There we go. So pronouns are words we use in sentences to replace nouns to avoid repetition. So these pronouns, right, would be like he, him, she, her, or they, them. So which ones do you go by?
I go by horse and cow, brother.
Okay, so unfortunately, because you're an idiot, I'm just going to have to drop you, and we'll move on to another person who's hopefully a bit smarter than you are. We also got people using slurs in the comments, so we're going to have to get rid of them too. There we go. Alrighty. I mean, if you can't answer simple questions, then you're not going to be welcome here. That's just how it is. This isn't hard. All right, we'll bring up Mac. Mac, are you at least 18 years of age?
I'm older than you, yeah.
Very good. What pronouns do you go by?
Just call me he.
Okay, very good. Do you believe that Christianity is true?
Yeah. And the
Okay, and
burden
what
of
would be your
proof,
best?
the burden of proof rests on you to say it is false.
Okay, sure, yeah, no problem. So one of the foundational claims of Christianity from the Bible, from the New Testament specifically, is that Jesus was the Messiah. And if that were true, that would mean that he fulfills prophecies about the Messiah. So can you show me a single prophecy that he fulfilled?
The Son is born unto us, was crucified.
No, it doesn't say that.
Whatever.
So
Wait.
hold on, Mac. You can't just geek out. So Mac, you made a claim. You made the claim that there's a prophecy that says for a son is born. It doesn't say that. It says a son has been born to us. Son has been born to us, a son given to us, and this is Isaiah 9:6. It has nothing to do with Jesus at all. So we'll read Isaiah 9:6.
From 4.
Say it again.
Start from 4.
No, I'm gonna start from verse 1. To understand the context, you need to read the entire. You need to read most of it, right? Or at least start from the beginning.
Yeah, but you're refuting my claim from my same book, but you don't believe in this book, so why not you come from your own claim?
So it says, because I'm doing an internal critique. So it says,
Okay.
But there will be no gloom for those who were in anguish. In the former time he brought into contempt the land of Zebulun and the land of Naphtali, but in the latter time he will make glorious the way of the sea, the land beyond the Jordan Galilee of the nations. The people who walked in darkness have seen a great light. Those who lived in a land of deep darkness, on them light has shined. You have multiplied the nations, you have increased his joy. They rejoice before you as with joy at the harvest, as people exult when dividing plunder. Then it says, For the yoke of their burden, and the bar across their shoulders, the rod of their oppressor, you have broken as on the day of Midian. For all the boots of the tramping warriors and all the garments rolled in blood shall be burned as fuel for the fire. So it describes a military victory. And why? Why? Well, for a child has been born to us, a son given to us. Authority rests upon his shoulders, and he is named Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. His authority shall grow continually, and there shall be endless peace for the throne of David and his kingdom. He will establish and uphold it with justice and with righteousness from this time onward and forevermore. The zeal of the Lord of hosts will do this. So this is not about Jesus at all, because Jesus never sat on the throne of David. He wasn't a king of the line of David at all. And it says the child was already born too. For a son has been born to us, not will be born, has been born, right? And when it says he will be named Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace, these are not names for the child. This is the thing that Christians always get wrong. These are not names for the child. These are theophoric names. Are you familiar with this concept, Mac?
No, I need to ask you, do you speak Hebrew or Arabic or Aramaic?
I do actually know some Hebrew. I can actually pull up the exact Hebrew for this. I know that it's in the perfect tense, so it is in the past. Mm-hmm. If I remember correctly, it's Yalad Lanu. If I remember correctly, let's find it. Hold on. I got my computer right here. I'll pull it up. We'll go there. Bring it up here. Yeah, Ki Yalad Lanu, which is for a son has been born to us, or for a child. Sorry, for a child has been born to us. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's in the perfect tense. It means it's in the past. It's already happened.
Isaiah is not a prophecy.
It's not a prophecy. No, it's about part of it is, so the part of the prophecy, right, is when it says His authority shall grow continual, and there shall be endless peace for the throne of David and his kingdom. He will establish and uphold it with justice and with righteousness. Like, this is the prophecy part where it's saying that the child is going to do these things, right? The part of the prophecy that is not actually a prophecy is the fact that the child is already born, right? The child's already born. The prophecy part is the things he's going to do, right? That's the prophecy part. This is almost certainly about King Hezekiah because he's the only child from that time period who is from the line of David that would actually fit this at all. He was next in line after King Ahaz because he was Ahaz's son. Just based on the context of when Isaiah 9:6 is, like, this would be King Hezekiah. There's nobody else that really fits this passage.
All right, good. So now you told your chat you basically understand Hebrew. The word
I understand.
Yulud in Hebrew.
I understand some Hebrew.
Oh, you.
Wait, where'd he go? I don't know where he went. So, Mac, I don't know if you know this, but when you're away from the screen, nobody can hear you, as it turns out. Okay. I'm looking at Safari. Oh, well, he's gone. How long was he gone? He couldn't have been gone that long. He could only been gone a couple seconds. I was mostly paying attention. Oh, like 8 seconds. He was gone for like 8 seconds. I didn't realize. I'm sorry. I was looking at Safari. Sorry, guys. He was gonna ask me what Yalad was, and Yalad means he was born. So yeah. Oh, thank you, ladies, for the roses. I appreciate it. Wait, how dare I what? Lace says, "How dare you? How dare I what?" Not pay attention for 8 seconds. Hey, I'm sorry. I was looking. He asked me to look at the Hebrew, so I was looking at the Hebrew for it. Okay. I was double checking something too. I was checking to make sure that was the right word I was thinking of, Yalad Lanu, and I was checking to see if that's what it was, and it was, yeah. I mean, there was more to it than that, but yeah, still. Timmy asks, "What do you believe in?" I'm an atheist. I believe in logic, evidence, and rational, critical thinking. That's what I believe in. Yeah. Well, maybe we can get another Christian up here in just a moment. Maya says, "I'm ready for someone to confirm the dark forest theory." What's the dark forest theory? Is that the dark forest? Is that okay? So thank you, yeehaw, yeehaw, thank you, thank you, probably appreciate it. Dark forest theory. I think the dark forest theory isn't the dark forest theory where the theory is that there's a bunch of alien civilizations out there, but that they're hiding from something, so they're quiet, and that's why we don't know that we're there. They're there, right? Isn't that the Dark Forest theory? I forget. I don't know all the alien stuff. Sorry. That civilizations that advanced technologically should stay quiet. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, basically, it's a game theory kind of explanation for why we don't hear anything. Because if there's life and they announce themselves, then more advanced civilizations will destroy that civilization before it can become a threat to them. So the idea is like predators and hunters in a dark forest, you keep quiet to avoid the hunters.
Oh, okay, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know too much about like the alien stuff. Oh, I don't know where we had a guest named Styx, but I don't know where they went. I guess they left. Maybe they didn't mean to request them. Oh well. But yeah, sorry guys. I don't know too much about like all the alien conspiracy theory stuff. I'm sorry, I don't. Maya says you explained it really well, so that's good. I'm glad. I'm not a tin hat guy, though. Promise. No, all good, all good. It's fine. It's fun to speculate. You can so this is the thing. You can speculate about alien civilizations without being one of the tinfoil hat people. Like you can think about it and you can think, okay, so these are all the possibilities, right, of what could be, without saying yes, this is 100% true. You don't have to, you can speculate. Just don't be a tinfoil hat person. It's fun to speculate. It's fun to speculate about like alien civilizations, I guess, and what they would be like. But we obviously understand that there's not really any evidence of it. There's no evidence that there's other alien civilizations out there. So, but it's fun to speculate. It is. But yeah, I was kind of looking down at the Hebrew here. So it's ki yalad, so it's for a child or a boy, right? And then yalad lanu is was born to us, right? So the child's already been born. So it's for a child has been born to us, ki yalad lanu. And I admit I'm not fluent in Hebrew. I'm still learning, and that's okay, right? Like I've never claimed to be fluent in Hebrew at all. I've never claimed that. I know some Hebrew, and I'm learning more every day. It's fun. It's actually really fun learning Hebrew. It's fun because you get to learn a new language. It's really cool. Probably you should start learning Hebrew. I think you'd enjoy it.
Man,
busy.
I need to learn Spanish first. I could use Spanish in my daily life, and I still haven't learned it. I've lived here for like 15 years.
Oh, my fan's going. I just now noticed that my fan was going. Let me turn that off. It's kind of... There we go.
If I'm so slow to respond, it's because I'm muted and I've stepped away from my phone because I'm doing an oil change over here.
Oh, okay, no worries.
I mostly came up to talk about the Dark Forest thing, and then I just kind of stuck around.
Right. That's cool. Well, I appreciate you hopping up to tell me about it because I actually did not know like fully. I understood the basic premise of the Dark Forest theory, but I did not know the entire thing of it. So I'm glad you came up to explain it to me. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm always happy to learn.
I think it's fascinating because I like. Well, first off, I like sci-fi, and the main reason I know it so well is because like one of my favorite book series is based entirely on that being true. So it explains it really well, and then obviously it's a major plot point.
Right.
It's a terrifying possibility.
Yeah.
If that were to be true, and you think about all the shit we've been blasting out into the universe for as long as we've had like access to radio waves and shit, and we're just completely carefree about it. And then to think about like all the different ways that like other civilizations could have weaponized the universe. It's kind of terrifying. Like one of the civilizations in the book series, like they're so advanced and ahead of us that they have the ability to. They've learned the physics that it would take to collapse like the universe into like a lesser dimensional space.
That's not good.
And the idea being, yeah, well, the idea is like, at least one of the things the book proposes is that like universe, like they go with like the string theory kind of idea that like the universe used to have more dimensions.
Right.
And what happened is like basically, eventually like civilizations got so advanced that like they discovered the ultimate form of weapon and a way to escape it, and that's to collapse the universe into like a lesser dimension. Mm-hmm. And so they translate their universe into that capability. And mind you, it takes a long time for that to happen anyways.
Right.
But they use that weapon against their enemies, and then in the meantime discover ways to like survive as a lesser, like to translate themselves into that lesser dimensional space, whereas everybody else, their enemies can't. So like there's like according to this theory, like there are still pockets of like 4-dimensional space out there, which they do a good job of describing, and I won't butcher. But it's super interesting, I think. Like just all the different ways that things could be weaponized, and to us, it would be like it's like magic because we don't understand the physics of it. Like they also describe they describe a type of material that's where basically you take like a structure and you condense it until it's like effectively one atom, and it's they use it as a weapon because like they don't even attack people like with guns and shit. They just ram everything at like sublight speeds, and like they survive unscathed, but like because it's like allegedly the material would be that strong, and like we don't have anything to counter it. It's super interesting stuff. It's a good book series. Highly recommend it if you're into sci-fi. It's just really slow at the beginning.
Mm-hmm. I feel like a lot of book series are like that, where they're kind of slow at the start, and then you kind of have to like you gradually get sucked into the book. You know what I mean?
And it gets exciting. Yeah. No, there's a lot of book series that are like that. That's why I guess one of the reasons I struggle to read Lord of the Rings. When you spend like an entire chapter describing the Shire, I get a little sleepy-eyed. But I need to finish that book series too. I need to read The Hobbit. The movie is amazing.
Pretty neat.
Huh?
I said it's pretty cool.
Yeah. I just wish I had time and motivation to read like I did when I was younger.
Well, everyone, make sure you're
sucks ass.
Sometimes. All right, everyone. So make sure you're you're all good, buddy. Make sure when you're tapping that screen, make sure you're liking and sharing, and maybe we'll get another Christian in here in just a moment. Oh, we have somebody spamming in the comments. Gotta fix that. There we go. No more spamming. Yay! Because I have a button that makes spammers go away. All right, we have a guest named DV. We'll call them DV. DV, are you at least 18 years of age?
No, I am not. I'm 17.
Oh, well,
stop
if you're
breaking
17,
the rules, bud.
You can't be up here. Sorry, buddy. Come back when you're 18 years old and we might be able to have a conversation, but when you're 17, I'm not going to do that. If you have a question or something, you can leave it in the comments and I can answer your question, but you can't be up on my panel unless you're at least 18 years of age.
You know what always cracks me up? Like, I'm not encouraging people to lie or anything, but it blows my mind. At least these people are honest. They don't have to be. They could just lie. Like, some of these kids have, like, adult-sounding voices.
And surely they know. Surely they know that I'm not going to let them up on the panel.
I mean, I would hope so. But
how do you answer
these days?
DV says, how do you answer the majority of scholars agreeing that his believers saw a risen Jesus? Number one, I'm not sure if that is actually the majority of what scholars say, but it's also important to note that unless they have evidence, then a consensus doesn't really mean all that much unless there's evidence to back it up, right? Unless there's a reason and there's evidence to back something up, then just making an appeal to an authority doesn't really help you any. Sure, okay, I'm sure the consensus scholars might say something, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's true unless they have evidence for it, right? And I like scholars. Like, don't get me wrong, I love scholars. I like to see what they say. I like to see their opinions on it, and I especially like to see what evidence they have. But you can't just say
without evidence.
Yeah, exactly. Without evidence, then what they say. No, you're good. You're completely fine. But like without evidence, then it doesn't really matter, right? What evidence do we have that his followers saw Jesus resurrected? Well, we don't have any. Liam asks, "Are you Muslim?" No, I'm atheist. I think Islam is just as bad as Christianity is, if not more. All right,
I
we will
always
bring
love
up
when people accuse me of being Jewish for not believing in Jesus.
I have people say that I'm Jewish. I have people ask if I'm Muslim. Like, I'm not any of those. I'm atheist.
Funny story. I think you're all silly. I hate engineers with a passion, I swear to Christ.
DV says, so historically we can verify that at least 3 apostles died martyred to fill belief in them seeing Jesus. Yeah, can you give me your evidence to support that claim? Yeah, can you give me your evidence to support that claim? From the book, it mentions that there was 3 from the book, but we don't have any actual historical evidence that would indicate that that's the case.
There's nothing to corroborate it. Some of those stories are from church tradition. Some of those stories are from other apocrypha. And those texts also state ridiculous things like babies giving prophecies after being possessed by the Holy Spirit and people doing a wizard battle.
Yeah, that's the Apocrypha Acts of Peter. You just described the Apocrypha Acts of Peter.
So unless you want to say wizard battles are real.
Yeah. Hey, Matter. It's good to see you, Matter. How you doing? Hey, thank you for the heart, Matter. I appreciate it. Thank you. Okay, well, DV, again, DV in the comments, you keep not providing me your evidence. So, unfortunately, just because you keep repeating the claim doesn't really mean anything all that much to me. I'm asking for the evidence, right? Oh, he's trying and failing to run Gary Habermas's, what is it, the historical facts argument or whatever it's called? That nonsense argument.
Minimal facts?
Minimal facts, that's right, yeah. Minimal facts doesn't actually demonstrate anything. It's the funniest thing to me, because it doesn't actually demonstrate anything. The conclusion to the argument is a big leap.
So based on that, like, if we just accept that, like, a person named Jesus could have lived and been a carpenter and all this, then we're just supposed to make the sudden leap that therefore he was the Son of God and all these other magical bullshit? Like, is that what we're really expected to believe here?
Let me actually pull up the minimal facts argument, and we can go through all the points right now. I want to make sure I get them all right.
And as for why scholars might believe such things and promote such things, it's because they have the inherent belief that they're correct, regardless of the evidence.
So, like, what
you
are
want
the
me to let RPR up?
No. We're only doing one friendly at a time right now.
So
what
I'll
are
drop
the
down
facts?
then.
No, that's fine. It's fine right now. So it's when we go through the facts, like the fact one is like Jesus died by Roman crucifixion. Sure, why not? The disciples had experience they believe were appearances of the resurrected Jesus. They might have, but we don't really have any evidence to support that claim. The disciples were radically transformed. We don't actually know that. In fact, we don't have any accounts of that. We don't have any accounts of that at all that would indicate that they changed. We don't know. Then the message was proclaimed very early. Sure, why not? Yeah, Christianity did spread relatively early. Sure, why not? James, the skeptic, converted. Possibly, we don't really have any good evidence of that. Paul, the persecutor, converted, possibly, but I also think that Paul was just a lunatic. I don't think that he was a sane person at all. And then it says that the logical conclusion is that this somehow indicates that this raises the probability that Jesus did indeed resurrect. But how? It doesn't. It's such a big leap from the conclusion that Habermas comes up with for this argument is a massive leap that doesn't actually work, that doesn't track, right? Like that's a ridiculous argument. The idea that the most likely explanation based on the minimal facts is that Jesus resurrected is such a ridiculous, massive leap in logic that doesn't work. It doesn't follow. So the Gary Habermas's argument here is absurd, because the conclusion does not follow the premises.
The conclusion is a wild leap of faith.
Yeah, exactly. The conclusion is a massive leap of logic that does not follow the premises. So DV, unfortunately, I'm not going to debate you in the comments. All right. So if you want to come back when you're 18 years of age, when you turn 18, you can come back and we can have a debate on this. But I'm not going to debate the comments, DV.
No sense in waiting 10 minutes for every fucking reply.
Yeah, I'm not going to debate you in the comments.
Understand what he's listening to. You asked a question, we answered it. Have a great day.
Mm-hmm. All right, everyone, make sure you're tapping that screen. Make sure you're liking and sharing and reposting all the the live. And maybe we can get some more Christians up in here in just a minute.
TikTok, we are trying to talk about the Bible, Christians, atheism, having a debate. Come on,
DB asks,
work with us here.
Do you do this often so I can join? I do this all the time, yeah. So I'm trying to think of what would boost the algorithm.
I'm just not as nice.
Bible, messianic prophecies, Jesus is dead, Jesus is not coming back. There, I'm saying all the words that would get people in here. Elise told me that this works, that if you say like the tag words, that it brings people in here. And it seems like it's working, because we did just get 2 more people in here. That's kind of funny.
That's so wild. Yo, where the fudge is my... There it is. Helps if I put things back where they belong. You're good. Oh my god. You're good. Ooh, that's gonna need a new front tire soon. That's not good.
Ooh. I most accidentally left my screen. That would not be good.
Doesn't need 2 new front tires. Golly.
Do you really?
I'm sure my boss is gonna piss and moan about that. Do I really what?
Do you really need 2 new front tires?
I don't. The boss does.
What happened?
Oh, it's just it looks like it needs an alignment, but the outer half of the tire, the street side of the tire is wearing more than the inner vehicle side of the tire.
Oh.
And they're down to like there's no tread, so they need new tires.
Okay, I got
These trucks get These trucks get run hard, dude. They're $150,000 trucks, and they're pieces of shit. Brand new trucks, all been in the shop for at 30,000 miles for transmission issues. Hot shit.
Right.
Don't buy new trucks.
Matter says, try driving an LLV. I need a new truck that's not from the early 80s.
I'll trade you. You can have a modern truck, and I'll take your truck from the 80s. Happily.
Right.
All right, let's see. I'm going to sit down, write up paperwork, and do some capping.
That sounds cool.
Let's go. Let's do one. You know, it's like they're literally the part of the job I hate, paperwork.
Yeah, paperwork is always like sucky. I hate doing paperwork. Paperwork sucks. It's funny too, because I like writing, but paperwork sucks.
Where is it? That no. There it is. It's different than my truck.
Nora says, it's not our job to awaken, you have to do the hard work yourself. I have done the hard work, that's why I'm not a Christian. It's because I've actually studied the book, and I've done research on the culture and the language and things like that. That's why I don't believe in it.
But in the meantime, thanks for absolutely nothing. Also, where is it? You must always be prepared to give a defense for the hope that you have in your heart, and you're supposed to do so with gentleness and kindness.
1 Peter 3:15 and 16, yeah. Jude, are you at least 18 years of age?
That's it.
Jude? Jude, are you there? Hey, Jude, are you at least 18 years of age?
I'm a grown man. I'm a grown man, yeah.
Okay, and what pronouns do you go by?
What do you mean by pronouns I go by?
Do you go by he, him, she, her, they, them?
I'm he.
Okay, very good. Do you believe that Christianity is true?
Yeah, Christianity is true.
Okay, and what would be your best evidence or argument that is true?
Because human life is based on evidence. There's evidence about it.
No, it isn't. That's evidence for the Muslim God. How about that? It's actually evidence for the Hindu gods, by the way. See, if your thing is just, well, humans exist, therefore that's evidence that God exists. Well, it can be any god. Why not? And it's not, by the way. It's not evidence for any god. Humans came about through naturalistic processes like evolution. Life started with abiogenesis, then humans came about with evolution. I have no reason to think that a god was involved. So try again. What would be your best evidence or argument that Christianity is true?
How can you come up with the human's evolution? Where did the evolution come from?
Again, abiogenesis. Yeah, you heard of abiogenesis?
Yeah, I've read Genesis.
Yeah, no, I'm not asking you about the book of Genesis. I'm asking you about abiogenesis. Abiogenesis is the theory of how life comes from non-life. We have a lot of evidence for this. Are you aware of that?
I haven't read about that, but where did he get the idea from?
Where did abiogenesis get the idea from? Are you asking me where? Are you at? I don't know what you're asking me.
I'm asking you, me, I have the evidence about Christianity.
No, you don't. Oh, then
so
what is it?
Prove yourself
then what is it?
The force.
Oh, then what is it? Then what is it?
That's why I've told you.
But you haven't given me any
evidence.
But you haven't given me any evidence for Christianity so far. All you've done is make an argument that's you've made.
I haven't argued.
What is it? I'm sorry.
I haven't argued. That's why I've told you.
All you've done is make an
argument
argument
based on evidence.
All you've done is make an argument from incredulity. So again,
Man's
humans
life is
came
based on
about.
evidence.
So again,
yeah? Right.
but it's not though. So humans came about through evolution. We have a lot of evidence for that. And then when it comes to abiogenesis, we have a lot of evidence for that too. So, for example, the Miller-Urey experiment in the 1950s demonstrated that the building blocks of life of amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins, can come from inorganic chemicals under the right conditions. This further substantiated the theory of abiogenesis that life originated from inorganic chemicals. So we have evidence for this. You have no evidence for your God whatsoever. Or else you would have provided it.
Because life can't come from non-life.
It can.
Life can't come from non-life.
Why can it not?
How can a chemical create life? That's not true. It doesn't make any sense.
So have you ever heard of the Miller-Urey experiment?
That's experiment on what exists.
I'm aware it does exist, Jude. So the Miller-Urey experiment demonstrated that inorganic chemicals can form more complex organic molecules that are required for the production of life, right? So it created the building blocks for life, which are amino acids. So we do have evidence.
They haven't proved it.
What do you mean? You don't. So this thing about science is you don't prove things, right? You have theories, and theories are explanations.
Science is based on proof.
No, it's not. It's based on evidence. So in science, what you have is you have a theory, and a scientific theory is a explanation for a phenomenon with vast bodies of evidence that are backing it up. That's what you have, right? That's what in science is. Has absolutely nothing to do with like proving anything. You can unmute yourself. Oh, wait, where'd he go? Oh, well. He left. Okay. Oh, he's back. I'm gonna press the button. My button's not working. It's not letting him up. I pressed the button, and it didn't do anything.
So, no, atoms are not alive. Life is a process.
There he is. Okay, I don't know why it did that. Did you leave or did it kick you? I bet TikTok kicked him. That's probably what happened. Okay, Jude, welcome back. Okay, so we were left off at abiogenesis. So, like, abiogenesis is actually really well substantiated, right? So we have no evidence of your God, but we do have evidence that life could have come from non-life. We have a lot of evidence for it, in fact. We also have evidence for evolution. So what evidence do you have of your God, Jude? And you're muted, by the way. I don't know if you knew that.
I've got a lot of evidence about my God.
Yeah, prove it.
Because science is based on what exists.
It's based on evidence.
On what exists.
Yeah, based on evidence.
Yeah. My God exists.
Yeah. So what's your evidence of that? So what's your evidence of that claim?
That's why I've told you. Life can't come from non-life.
Oh, well, again, you have not given me a substantiation for that claim. You keep making the claim that life can't come from non-life, and you've yet to rebuttal any of my evidence that I presented to you. All you've done is say nuh-uh the whole time. So can you actually engage, Jude?
That's why I'm trying to explain it.
But you're not explaining anything though. You're just saying nuh-uh, and nuh-uh is not a valid argument. So you say life can't come from non-life, but why can it not? Why can life not come from non-life? Why can't it? What evidence do you have that it cannot do that? Because I've given you evidence that it can. I've given you evidence for abiogenesis. What evidence do you have that life cannot come from non-life?
God exists. That's the evidence.
That's a claim, Jude. I'm gonna help you out here, Jude. So, Jude, that's a claim you're making. You're making the claim that your God exists. Prove it. Provide me evidence for it.
You can't prove God exists. Life doesn't work like that. Life doesn't work on proof.
It's your problem, then.
It's work with the evidence.
That's your problem, then. Okay, then provide me the evidence. That's what I've been asking you for a while now. is provide me the evidence, and you haven't provided me any evidence yet. The only thing you provided me so far is an argument from incredulity, and nuh-uh. That's the only things you presented to me so far. You've not presented me any evidence so far.
There are so many, a lot of evidence. God is the creator. He created human beings.
Okay, prove it.
He
Okay,
gave us
prove it.
life.
Provide evidence for that claim. Provide me evidence for that claim.
It's written in Genesis.
I don't care what Genesis is.
I think
Genesis
you've read about that.
The Bible is full of contradictions, historical, scientific, and textual anachronisms. It's not a true book.
Everything is written.
No, it
Even
isn't.
the book you have told me about, you have referred me to a book. The guy wrote it, so everything is written.
I haven't referred you to any books yet. What do you mean? I think you're confused, dude. I have not referred you to any book. So, Jude, unfortunately, it doesn't seem like you're going to be able to provide me evidence for anything, so I'm just going to move on to the next guest, probably. So, you have a good day, though, Jude.
That was painful.
All right, we'll bring up our next guest. Oh, no, we won't. They're not here. Okay. Well, we don't currently have any guests, then. If there's any Christians in the comments who would like to come up and have a conversation about this topic, you're more than welcome to come up. We're going to have a great conversation about it. All I ask is that you answer
real quick.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. All I ask is that you answer simple questions and that you don't cry about pronouns. That's all I ask.
I always feel bad because this like destroys any like chat conversation, but
That's fine.
this is what everybody in the chat ought to be doing anyway. I'm shaming you all.
You disrupted the entire chat. They're not going to know what they were talking about now. They're going like, wait a minute, what were we talking about? I can't say what it was.
Matter of thought, thank you for sharing the live out. I appreciate it. The Ghostum does as well, I'm sure. I'm going to mute up real quick. I got to talk to a customer.
All right, no worries. Tell your customer Johnny said hello. They're not going to know who that is. Hey, thank you, Matter. I appreciate the donut. Thank you, thank you. I like donuts. Let me check something. Let me check the time real quick. All right, we're good. Sound Doctrine says this guy is miserable. Who? Who's miserable? I'm not miserable. Probably he's not miserable. Who are you talking about? All right, well, let's see. If there's any Christians in the comments who want to come up and you want to have a conversation about this topic, you're more than welcome to come up. We can have a conversation about it.
Apparently I'm miserable. Johnny, do you think I'm miserable?
No, I don't. That's what I said. Someone says this guy is miserable, and I'm like, who? It's not me, and it's not him, so I don't know.
So imagine living in someone's head rent free. I wonder if it's comfy in there.
Probably.
Wild. And to be fair, I'm a lot less of an ass on other people's live streams than I am on my own.
All right, well, let's see. If there's any Christians in the comments who want to come up and you want to have a conversation about this topic, you're more than welcome to come up. We can have a conversation about it. Someone says, didn't you get fried by Mark? Are you talking about the Phil bro that got absolutely roasted because he didn't understand what he was talking about? No, I didn't get fried by that guy at all. I actually fried the shit out of him. It was not hard. All I had to do was explain what logic was to him. And then he resorted to insults. All he could do was start insulting me because he lost really bad. So he just started insulting me, calling me names. That's all he did. He got absolutely roasted. It was funny. Are you getting a text message, probably?
Oh, yeah. You could hear that?
Yeah, I heard the beep, beep.
Oh, that's wild.
That's funny.
Oh, there it is again.
You're good, buddy. I was just pointing it out because I thought it was funny. A matter of thought says, I live rent-free in a few Christians' heads. Luckily, I have unlimited room to stretch, so that's a plus. Yeah, I've noticed that. I live in... So, none of you are going to... well, none of the... I don't know if any of the YouTube people are going to know who this is, but now I'm speaking to the YouTube people who are going to be watching this later. So, there's a Christian who goes on here named No Degree Required. His name fits his personality really well, right? But he is a super dishonest, lying Christian. I live rent-free in his head. He goes up on other people's lives and complains about me. It's the funniest thing ever.
That man
I'm actually really sad that I didn't have any footage of our debates to put onto YouTube. I was going back through all my old recordings, and I don't actually have any of me versus him. And I was so sad about that because I cooked his ass like 1,000 times. It was really funny. I cooked his ass on biblical slavery. Really, I kicked him on biblical slavery once really badly, and he literally left. He left that person's live. It was funny.
So hold on a second, Yorkie Dad. If it's so easy, then just come on up here and convert him back to Christianity right now. Like do what your Christ says and have a defense for the hope that you have in your heart.
Mm. Yeah, Yorkie says, don't have to prove you're wrong, the Bible does. No, it doesn't. The Bible is a mythology text. It's full of contradictions, historical, scientific, and textual anachronisms, and demonstrable falsehoods. And all you have to do is read the damn thing. That's how I know you've never read it, Yorkie. Oh, Yorkie, if you don't want to come up and have a conversation, if all you want to do is cry in the comments, then I'll just mute you, and that way you can't cry in the comments. Problem solved. Tutu Praise Tayo says, Christianity facts. God, Jesus is bought, sold, shaped into statues of all size, colors. That doesn't... So? I don't care. Anyway, we'll bring up Corey next. Corey, are you at least 18 years of age?
Yes.
Okay, and are you? What pronouns do you go by?
Man, I'm a man. I'm a man's man.
Man's not a pronoun, especially man's man is not a pronoun either.
You asking what? Man, I'm Jesus Christ, Christian. I'm a Christian who believes in Jesus Christ. If that's what you're
Jesus Christ.
I don't be understanding all this TikTok lingo.
This isn't TikTok lingo. It's just how the English language works.
Yeah, so Corey, pronouns are words we use in sentences to replace nouns to avoid repetition. So these pronouns would be like he, him, she, her, they, them. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. So what pronouns do you go by?
Man, tell me what's true. I ain't heard of get no English lesson from you.
Okay, well then, so can you answer this simple question? It sounds like you need it though. If you don't understand what I'm asking you, it sounds like you need this English lesson.
I was being sarcastic, man. That's what I meant. I know what a fucking pronoun is, bro.
Oh, then you can answer the question. So then answer the question then.
I'm a she.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Do you believe that Christianity is true?
Yes.
Makes sense. And what would be your best evidence or argument that Christianity is true?
Now I'm here to ask you a question.
Okay, what is it? Sure.
What is true? I don't want to talk about what's false. Tell me if Christianity is false, then tell me what's true. I need to be. I'm a seeker of truth. So Can you help me find truth? What is true?
Well, so what is truth? Well, truth is what comports to reality, right? So it is very true that I'm sitting on my bed right now, right, talking to you. It's very true that the moon and the sun are out there right now, right? And the moon rises when the sun, and the sun sets, right? It's very true that those are true, right? It's true that this is a bottle of black suede leather. So
how you know? That's your perception. Who says that's the color black? Your society,
I
your Western culture.
I also agree. I also agree that those are both things.
You from a
It's
Western
black.
culture. You don't know what color that's what you perceive it to be. I might be colorblind.
Well, look here. You can commit sophistry if you want, but we like to actually do useful things here rather than just say that the world can't be defined.
Yeah, the world is defined. That's literally what it is. Everything that we have a description for it. Like the color, freaking I don't know, white, right? Like this. Wait, hold on. Let me get this. Let me get. Hold on. Let me get. Get this Matchbox car, right? So it is demonstrable that we call this a Matchbox car, right? That's a description that we're using to describe what this is right here. Are you at a grocery store right now?
Are we talking to a cashier?
I just want to know what's true.
I just gave you a bunch of things that were true. So, Corey, can you demonstrate that? So, Corey, can you demonstrate that Christianity is true? I can demonstrate that Christianity is false really easily. It's not hard at all.
Why are you so hung up trying to prove something that you know is false? What's the purpose of trying to disprove it if it's false?
You keep going around and saying it's true.
Because I used to be a Christian.
Okay, I believe.
Okay, so now you're muted. So I was a Christian once, right? And this religion is harmful. This religion is harmful. It has harmful teachings, right? And it's a big reason why the country that I live in is failing is because of this book, right? Because of this religion. So therefore, I'm advocating against it by explaining why it's not true. Also, I like to debate it because it's fun, because I enjoy debating the Bible, because I'm relatively knowledgeable in the Bible, right? Therefore, I can debate it and tell you why it's not true. It's not hard. So, Corey, you can either engage honestly and we can actually talk about the text, or you can go. Those are the two options. Hello?
All right. Do you believe in Satan?
No, I don't believe in Satan. Satan's
okay, so Satan is... Okay, so you up here talking about a fictional book. So you about to bust a vein in your neck to disprove a fictional book. Why you not arguing about the cat in the hat?
Nobody's stressing here.
All right, Corey, you're done. Goodbye, Corey. Corey, you're not welcome here anymore. Because instead of engaging honestly, all you did was cry. That's all you did. All right, we'll bring up Have a Word, Mate. Word, are you at least 18 years of age?
Yes, I am.
Okay, and what pronouns do you go by?
Pronouns?
Yeah. You know what pronouns are, right?
Yeah, I don't know. If you had to guess, what would you reckon?
I don't make assumptions.
Why not?
Yeah, because I don't make assumptions on people's pronouns.
But
I'd be wrong.
But you're...
So, Word, this is going to be really simple. It's a 2-word answer. All you have to do is 2 words. So, what
but
pronouns
you
do
already
you go
know
by?
the answer in your
No, I don't know. I could be wrong about the answer. So, there's the nervous laughter of somebody who obviously doesn't know what pronouns are.
Look here, friends.
That's okay.
No, keep me in. It's cool.
We can ask you a simple question. You can either give us a simple, honest answer, or you can continue just being a pedantic ass, and we can just not have the conversation.
That's a very emotional response.
No, it's just that you're not engaging honestly in the debate, right? So I'm asking you a question, right? And you're not answering the question, so I'm going to ask you again, and this will be the last time I ask you before I just drop you and move on to somebody who's probably more honest than you are. So what pronouns do you go by?
I think you should chill out, mate.
All right, I don't care. Goodbye. Hey, if you don't want to answer a simple question, you don't have to be here. That's how it is. It's just my life. I've decided what questions I should ask people, and I've also decided that if people don't answer simple questions, then I just won't have them here. So,
like, if we're asking like a simple question about the English language and you can't answer that, why would we expect you to engage honestly in like a difficult part of the conversation? Like, don't be ridiculous, people.
You're acting God is not sending His best today at all.
Then we have this Christian in the comments that just refuses to abide by Titus 3:2, and refuses to treat people with kindness and courtesy and respect. Yeah. But I'm supposed to believe him that his God's super special.
Right. Any superficial fiction script that violates the law of logic equals Disney World stories. Correct, and that's what Christianity is. That's what the Bible is. Very good. Very good, a tall scientist. What kind of? Hold on, I'm not reading all that. Okay. Toast on Jelly says, if God is fake, then why did I lose my life savings at the Luxor in Vegas? Surely it was a test. And unrelated to my wife leaving. Oh my goodness. Toast on Jelly, I'm really sorry to hear. But yeah. All right, maybe we can get some guests up in here. We'll see. We'll give it a few more minutes. So if there's any Christians in the comments, oh, we got one, I think. Yeah. Hey Jeff, are you at least 18 years of age?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can you not hear me?
Yeah. Are you at least 18 years of age?
Yes.
Okay, and what pronouns do you go by?
He, him, but I'll just prefer if you call me by my name, Jeff. That's fine.
Well, it's fine. So, do you believe that Christianity is true?
I do.
Okay, what would be your best evidence or argument that Christianity is true?
Well, I'll take it beyond it.
I'm sorry, say it again.
I mean, I have my own experiences, but we'll go beyond that because I know that doesn't mean much to you. But as far as the Bible goes, I would say with the eyewitnesses, with the accounts that, the various testimonies that were given across. What's that? Did you say who?
Who?
Well, Paul said that there were over 500 witnesses, many of whom he said at the time of his writing were still alive when he had. Well, he didn't name them, but everything in the book's not written. Right.
There you go. That's the promise. He didn't name them, so we don't have any of the testimonies.
Lack of evidence is not doesn't mean.
Jeff, hold on. So you're right. In 1 Corinthians 15, he says that Jesus first appeared to the 12, right? He first appeared to the 12, and then he says that Jesus appeared to over 500 brothers and sisters at once. I'm aware, but he doesn't give us, any evidence for this. He doesn't tell us who any of them are. We have none of their testimonies, right? So we don't know who these people are. He just makes a claim. Well, you don't have any evidence of the claim. Now you're going to say, well, absence of evidence is not evidence, but that's just absurd. If there's no evidence for the fact that 500 people actually saw him, then why would I assume that that's the case? Why would I believe that without evidence?
Well, you don't have to. That's why I'm just going to continue on with this point, though.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to. I mean, obviously he didn't mention it. Just like at the end of John, I mean, the same thing was written about Jesus, where they said, "Hey, listen, he did." I'm sorry.
I said, yeah, it says that not all the things he did were written down.
Right. So just point of reference. I mean, I want to keep moving, but as far as Paul's teachings, I know a lot of people, especially in the atheist world, they like to discredit it because, he's a self-proclaimed or what have you apostle. But the thing about it is interesting about his writings, 7 have been confirmed for sure out of the 13 that were written by him, even by agnostics and those that aren't of the faith. And the thing is those 7 have various components written within those that actually draw back to the actual Gospels themselves, which, by the way, Paul's writings were even before the Gospels. So it would just indicate, what's that?
They couldn't have been then. So if you're going to make the claim that the things he's saying circle back to the Gospels, and they can't be written before the Gospels, unless you also think that the Gospels took inspiration from Paul.
No, I just think that based on the fact that Paul died in 64 AD, which is pretty well confirmed, in his writings of that time, were in that time period, most people are saying the first gospel, whereas it maybe possibly Mark, was probably written closer to the 70 AD. So my point is either way, Yeah, so either way, Paul's teachings are drawing from things that he would have had encounters with either the apostles, like he said in Acts, he met with Peter.
That Acts is not written by Paul.
No. I know it's written by possibly Luke. I'm saying in Acts, it was documented that he went and met with Peter and James and some of the apostles.
And what evidence is there for that claim?
I mean, I'm just, these things are, documented. So, again,
we don't know who wrote Acts. We have no clue. So that's just a claim in a book. We don't know who wrote the Gospels either. We have no idea. This is what I'm getting at, is that none of these things are eyewitness accounts. None of them are eyewitness accounts. We don't know who wrote them. We have no clue. And none of them appear to be eyewitness accounts. They all contradict each other. You, like Paul, Paul contradicts Jesus. If you believe in the Gospels, in that Jesus in the Gospels, the things that he's saying are actually things that Jesus said, then Paul contradicts Jesus big time.
Yeah, I don't think it conflicts, and I know where you're going with that. I mean, obviously
it does.
Well, let me share. I mean, obviously he came to the house of Israel and he came to fulfill the law. So he came to a people who were held under the law, the Mosaic law. I get that. However, I do believe that the book as a whole, when I say the Bible as a whole, is progressive. So at the end of Jesus' ministry on earth, he then proclaimed his disciples to go forth, not only just to Jerusalem, whereas at first that's all they were commanded to do. However, at the end of that, he told them to go to Judea, Samaria, to the other nations, and make disciples of them as well. There was a progression.
Real quick, can I ask a real question real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Does a progression require change?
The change was the new covenant.
Does the progression require change? Yes, no.
But if you've looked at the new covenant, you know the new covenant has the same laws according to Jeremiah 31 and Jeremiah 33.
The new covenant was established by Jesus first, as he told his disciples at the Last Supper, and secondly reiterated by Paul when he talked about the new covenant. And
I'm aware, but the new covenant has the same laws, though, according to Jeremiah 31 and 33.
Well, my thing is not only my perception, anyways. Everybody has an understanding, just like you have your interpretation of it. But as he fulfilled the law, he said he would write those laws, yes, upon their hearts and upon my heart.
It says the days are surely coming, says the Lord. I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. It will not be like the covenant that I made with their ancestors when I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, the covenant that they broke, though I was their husband, says the Lord. But this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, says the Lord. I will put my law within them, and I will write it on their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. No longer shall they teach one another or say to each other, know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them to the greatest, says the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity and remember their sin no more. God's law is the Torah. So is the Torah written on everybody's hearts? And to be fair, Jesus did actually affirm the Torah in Matthew 5:17-19, right? But also Jeremiah 33 says that the sacrifices will be forever. Jeremiah 33 says that when the Messiah does come, it says, the days are surely coming, says the Lord, when I will fulfill the promise I made to the house of Israel and the house of Judah. In those days and at that time I will cause a righteous branch to spring up for David, and he shall execute justice and righteousness in the land. In those days Judah will be saved, and Jerusalem will live in safety. And this is the name by which it will be called, the Lord is our righteousness. For thus says the Lord, David shall never lack a man to sit on the throne of the house of Israel. And the Levitical priest shall never lack a man in my presence to offer burnt offerings, to make grain offerings, to make sacrifices for all time. So I'm aware that, according to the New Testament, Jesus was supposedly the final sacrifice, but that contradicts the Old Testament. And also the idea that he came to fulfill the law does not mean he came to get rid of the law. That's not what that means.
Yeah, I know it doesn't. Paul didn't explain it to have gotten rid of the law either. Here's how he put it.
Ephesians 2.
Well, here's how he put it in Romans 7. He said, listen, the law is not sin. He said, I wouldn't even know what sin was without the law. So he basically saying, listen, is the law bad? No, certainly not. However, he said there's an extending law that supersedes that law, and is the law of the Spirit of life in Christ has set me free from the law of sin and death. So he's saying that what Christ did in his payment of sin for, yes, that sacrifice according to Hebrews, that he was the sacrifice for sin, for death.
Not according to God.
Well, according to Hebrews, which is still obviously made into the canon of scriptures that have been around for thousands of years.
Well, it's wrong.
I would disagree. I guess that's what I'm saying. I mean, your interpretation.
So in Ephesians 2, it's not an interpretation, it's what the text actually says verbatim. So then in Ephesians 2, it says, let me get to it. It says, but now in Christ Jesus, I'll go down a little bit. It says, for he is our peace, in the flesh he has made both groups into one, and has broken down the dividing wall that is the hostility between us. He has abolished the law with its commandments and ordinances, that he might create in himself one new humanity in place of the two, thus making peace, and might reconcile both groups to God in one body through the cross, thus putting to death that hostility through it. So he's making the claim that in order to break down the dividing wall between the Jews and the Gentiles, Jesus came and abolished the law. You'll never find me an instance where Jesus said that. Jesus never once said he'd come to get rid of the law. He said the opposite. He said that until heaven and earth passed away, the law would not go away. Not one letter, not one stroke of a letter would pass away from the law until heaven and earth passed away and all was accomplished. That's what I'm getting at, is that Paul does contradict Jesus, because he makes the claim that Jesus came and abolished the law, but Jesus says the opposite. He says he did not do that.
Yeah, I mean, he said, curses every man who hangs on the tree. I mean, he basically took those written commandments and basically those that couldn't be fulfilled and that still can't be fulfilled to this day by the Jew. I mean, they can't morally uphold all of those commands. So Jesus had to come and basically take that place.
That's not true if you never read Luke 1. It says Zechariah and Elizabeth were righteous to the law. You can do these things. Zechariah and Elizabeth could do them. Why can't the Jewish people? Why can't the other people do them?
No, you can do them, but they themselves before Christ also had to make sacrifice for their sin, just like all the people. Therefore, they had sin. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I mean. Oh, if you break one of the laws, even one of the commands, then you broke the whole law. That's what I'm getting at.
That's in 1 James. I know.
That's what I'm getting at. So Jesus was the only one, according to the text, anyways, that was able to be without sin. So that's what made him. Well, that's exactly how he put it.
Does he not add to the law? Does he? So let me ask you a question. Does he add? Does he add and take away from the law, the Torah?
I think he came and gave a greater revelation of the law's intent.
But did he add to it?
What would you say that he added to it? Since you're asking that question,
did he add any stipulations to it?
I don't know off the top of my head if he added. I think he expounded upon it to a greater level to where they.
So he did. So he did add stipulations to it.
Are you talking about the Beatitudes, Matthew 5 and all them, or are you talking about...
That's part of it. There's other places, too, where he expands on law. He adds criteria to it. I'm aware.
Right, and he also got things on the Sabbath that weren't likely, that you probably shouldn't have done, but so on and so forth. But that wasn't sin, because he said he is the Lord of the Sabbath. The Sabbath was made for man.
He committed a sin. I'm going to show you why. We're going to read Deuteronomy 4. So now, Israel, give heed to the statutes and ordinances that I am teaching you to observe, so that you may live to enter and occupy the land that the Lord, the God of your ancestors, is giving you. You must neither add anything or to what I command you, nor take away anything from it, but keep the commandments, Lord your God, with which I am charging you. Jesus added to the law. He added criteria to it.
What
means
criteria?
He broke the law. Yeah, we'll read it. So what does he say about the divorce, you know?
Well, he said that Moses had given them a right of divorce because of because of the wickedness of their heart. However, that wasn't always the intention from the beginning.
But that's the claim of the New Testament. What does the original law say, though? The original law says that they can divorce, right?
Again, he was explaining, they gave that as
so he added criteria to it, which means he broke the law, because the law says don't add or take away from the law.
He is the law. You feel what I'm saying?
No, he isn't. That's a claim that the Chosen TV show makes. It's not in the book anywhere. The book never once says that Jesus is the law. That's a nonsense claim. That's not in the book. Well, he
claims himself. I mean, the book, and of course, John's more specifically, definitely claims his divinity. So
I'm aware.
You are already aware, and I know I've heard you before. So you've said that Jesus likely was a real man. I mean, regardless. Possibly. Now, did he do the things he did? That would obviously be the question you have. And is he the person he says he is? That's the question you have. I get it. But the fact is, he was a real person, and he did die, likely crucified and buried.
Everyone lives and dies.
Yeah, of course. I just happen to believe the context of what he said about himself. That's the difference.
Well, you have no evidence.
For some reason.
You have no evidence for it, though, Jeff, is the problem.
I mean, other than, like I said, the experiences that I have that will mean nothing to you, per se.
Because Muslims have the same ones.
No, they don't.
Oh, yeah, they do. I have Muslims come up. I have Muslims. Hold on, guys. Hold on. I have Muslims come up here all the time and tell me about their personal experience. And you know what I tell them? I tell them that Christians have the same experiences. Doesn't help me any. So, I get Muslims up here all the time.
I mean, I haven't met one, and I'm not saying there aren't, because I've seen witchcraft. I've been to different countries where they still perform. No. Listen, I'm saying I've been to countries where they perform these types of things. I'd like to go on missions. Right. That's just something I enjoy doing. But my point is...
Are you Mormon, Jeff?
No, I am not. Far from it. However,
thank goodness. At least he's not that level of crazy.
No, I'm not. Because, anyways, Yeah, no. My experience beyond just saying, "Hey, personally, this is how I came to know Jesus." No, that's not what I'm talking about. And I haven't met a Muslim yet necessarily that has seen a baby or seen kids get out of wheelchairs or blind eyes open or deaf
Yeah,
ears.
I bet you haven't either. And I bet if
But
I
I
asked you to
have.
provide me evidence.
Jeff, these evangelical type situations are often plants and audiences.
Yeah, they are.
No. I'm talking about me.
Jeff, let me speak for a second, Jeff. You're being conned. They're usually plants and audiences. So instead of like saying like it's my personal testimony, how about you provide a methodology in which Jonny or I or King can reach this kind of conclusion? What methodology do we use?
I know, and I'm trying to share with you. First and foremost, I would never share with you an experience that I see in a church or on a TV or an evangelist. I'm talking about me individually with a person, nobody around.
You didn't see that, Jeff. If you did, it would be in a medical journal.
Would it?
So tell me what you saw, and we'll debunk it really easily. Go ahead. Tell me what you think you saw.
All right. How much time we got?
We don't have that much time.
It shouldn't take you more than 2 seconds to say what you saw.
2 minutes. I'll give you 2 minutes to tell me what you saw.
Well, I have 30 incidences. I've got them documented. But anyways.
Just give me one. Just give me one.
All right. So when we're in India, me and 4 of my other colleagues, we'll just call them, Christians, we went there basically after the tsunamis hit in 2004. We were going to open an orphanage. That was the whole purpose. We went down there, and when we were there, we encountered a crowd of people, and a guy came up and asked us for prayer. There was about 1 million people around. Kid you not, obviously there's a country of 1 billion. He came up and he wanted prayer because to be honest with you, he had no legs. Obviously, this is not something we're about to pray for and see his legs grow. I didn't think that was going to happen, but we prayed for him. When the people saw us praying for him, the other people came up and wanted prayer. One person came up and didn't have a pupil. They had no eye on one of their eyes. So we laid hands on them. We prayed for them. And right there in front of us, they got a pupil in their eye.
Where is this documented?
Yeah, and where's
how are we going to document it in the middle of India?
You said there's millions of people around seeing this. So where's the report?
Yeah, and here's what happened. So like after that happened and that encounter happened, they began to press us. Like, and if you can imagine how they said in Jesus' time.
Can you pray for me right now for healing?
I can absolutely pray for you, but it's not me that heals anybody. I don't heal anybody, first and foremost.
And this is why personal experience isn't going to mean anything, because you claim a miracle happened, but I wasn't there. I don't know exactly what you saw. I have no clue. And this is not documented anywhere. There's no documentations of this in any medical journals. There's no documentations on this anywhere in the news. There's no evidence for this other than what you tell me, right?
Right.
Supposedly millions of people saw this, and not one person decided, hey, maybe this is really important. Maybe we should actually go tell people, right?
I don't know if they did it. We were in the middle of God knows nowhere, India. All right. So I can't tell you.
So can you answer why God has chosen to heal people in places where it cannot be documented and has not chosen to heal, say, children in St. Jude?
No, I agree. Listen, I agree. First and foremost, I'm not going to be able to answer those types of questions. I don't think I know everything. I don't think I even know why I got used in certain ways.
It's because you didn't see what you thought you saw.
Oh, I didn't.
And when pressed for evidentiary things, you have nothing to present us, right?
What would I be able to present you?
Fucking hold on.
You're screaming over me.
Because you are very passionate. I get it. But hold on, buddy. Can you present any evidence outside of testimony? Can you present a study? Can you present a news article? Can you present anything other than Jeff's feelings?
I'll have to find the story since you won't take my testimonies, because that's one of 30. But bottom line is there are miracles that have happened.
They're not.
No. There's even a movie that's been made about it.
There are things. Don't care about no movie. There are things that happen that people. All right, we'll just do this then, since you don't want to let me talk. So there are things that happen to people that they cannot explain. That does not mean miracle, right? Just because you don't know an explanation for something does not mean that it's a miracle. You also don't have any evidence that this thing you claim happened actually happened. So this is the problem: is that every single miracle that somebody claims happened is not documented correctly at all. Yet there's supposedly thousands of instances of miracles, but not one person got it documented right. Not one person got it documented right. This is absurd. Jeff, listen, we're gonna move on to the next guest.
Thousands of miracles. Just show us one.
Right? Yeah. Now, Jeff, listen. Thanks for the conversation, but we're gonna move on to the next guest. I hope you have a great day. Goodbye. That's absurd. I don't think he actually saw what he thinks he saw.
Can I chime in real quick? The interesting part is let's just say that God does do these one-off miracles every now and then. Like someone prays over a dude, like they get healed. So what? Your God has the power to heal people, and people die every day of horrifying, debilitating diseases. But I'm supposed to praise God because he jerked off one guy one day allegedly. It's ridiculous. What a weak God.
I agree. That actually is a problem. Yeah. So if the claim is that God will heal some people, but then not heal others, then it means he's not all good. Because an all good entity, right, would see people suffering, and if they could stop it, they would say, "Yeah, let me fix that real quick." But if God only heals select people, it means he chooses favorites, and he just likes to watch other people suffer, but doesn't like to watch some people suffer. Like, that's a problem. So we'll bring up Jason, and Jason will probably be our last guest today, and then I'm going to go for today. Jason, are you at least 18 years of age?
Hey, what's up? I'm going to stick with the subject matter, which is Christianity is false. Prove me wrong.
Okay, so are you at least 18 years of age?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for the compliment.
And what pronouns do you go by? And what pronouns do you go by? And what pronouns do you go by?
Pronouns? Him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do you believe that Christianity is true?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. What would be your best evidence or argument that it is true?
Well, there's historical evidence is the most is the best evidence of all, because we've got historical evidence. Sorry.
Of what? Of what?
Well, we've got the Bible. Okay, so people say, well, that's the Bible, yeah. But also we've got the writings of Roman generals, emperors, and leaders back in the 1st century that acknowledged that there was a man called Christus who went down to Judea. Sorry?
Yeah, so I also don't... So number one, I'm not a mythicist. I agree there was probably a person named Jesus. I don't care. My only contention is whether the mystical claims about him are true. Like, was he the Messiah? Did he do miracles? Did he rise from the dead?
Yes.
Are these things true?
Yeah, I've got.
Okay, what is your evidence?
Well, it was eyewitness testimonies.
Okay, where's the eyewitness testimony?
What is my evidence? Okay, the eyewitness testimonies from the apostles and from over 500 witnesses.
We don't have any testimony.
Jesus rose from the dead.
We don't have any testimony from the apostles. We don't have any testimony from the apostles.
Yes, we do. We have the Gospels. The Gospels are not testimonies of.
You have no evidence that they were written by the apostles.
Oh, we have absolutely all the evidence that they're written by the apostles. You're trying to tell me what I haven't got, but I'm going to tell you what I've got.
So the problem is that if you actually look at
an answer.
Yeah, I do. Go ahead. Go ahead and provide me your evidence that Matthew was written by Matthew. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Early church writings, by leaders such as Irenaeus, Polycarp, Justin Martyr. Have you heard of them?
Yeah, I have. What is Irenaeus' evidence? Listen. What is Irenaeus' evidence that Matthew wrote Matthew? Please tell me.
With Irenaeus, Polycarp, and all the early church writers, they were quoting from the writings of Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and some of them were disciples of the original apostles.
I'm asking you, what evidence do you have that Irenaeus? What evidence does Irenaeus have that Matthew wrote Matthew? Was my question.
Well, because he knows John. Irenaeus,
what's your evidence? What's your evidence that he knew John? What's your evidence that he knew that?
Can I finish?
Yeah, what's your evidence?
Had evidence. Well, let me talk then, bruv.
Okay? So the funniest thing is, I already know what his evidence is. You don't know Jason. You don't know his evidence because you could have told me by now who he quotes.
Let me finish.
Who does he?
I'm not
going
to go and argue if you're just going to talk over me being rude.
So Jason, who does he quote to make the claim that Matthew wrote Matthew? I already know. I bet you don't know. Who does he quote to claim that Matthew wrote Matthew? What is his evidence? You can unmute yourself and you can answer me. What is his evidence? He quotes a very specific person. Who is it? 185 CE. Who does he quote?
He's just gonna be a little baby.
This is embarrassing. I already know. The funniest thing is I already know who he quoted to claim that Matthew wrote Matthew. So Jason, Irenaeus, right? Irenaeus makes a claim. I'm going to send you an invite to unmute yourself. So Irenaeus makes a claim that Matthew wrote Matthew. I'm aware. What is his evidence of that claim? Who does he quote He quotes a very specific person. Jason's Googling it right now. He's Googling it right now. He's Googling it right now. Jason,
And
I don't know if you know this, but
if I could be frank, none of this fucking matters. Who wrote what doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't prove divinity.
Yeah, and Irenaeus did not know the Apostle John. That's not the claim. The claim is that Polycarp knew the Apostle John, and Irenaeus has no good evidence for that.
Well, as Irenaeus, you know, Johnny, the neighbor of Stephen King knows Stephen King. So the neighbor of Stephen King is also a best-selling author.
Right. Irenaeus' only evidence that that Polycarp knew John was that he supposedly, when he was a child, by the way, supposedly overheard him talking about the Apostle John, right? But he was supposedly a child when this happened. So we don't actually know the reliability of what he's saying, and we have no evidence of it. We have no evidence from Polycarp himself that he knew the Apostle John. Jason, I don't know if you know this, but you're muted. I've said this, I think twice now that you're muted and you are not unmuting yourself. Okay, so Jason, I'm going to drop you back down to the comments, and you can come back in just a minute when you figure out how to unmute yourself. That's fine. So, just so everybody knows, because he did not know. Oh, I'll see you later, Elise. Love you too. You have a good one. Bye. So, just for anyone who doesn't know, right, Irenaeus' evidence that Matthew wrote Matthew is that he's quoting Papias, well, he's quoting Eusebius, supposedly quoting Papias, that Matthew wrote a sayings gospel, right? That's his evidence that Matthew wrote Matthew, pretty much. The problem is that what Papias describes is not the Gospel of Matthew, because Papias describes a sayings gospel written in Aramaic. We don't have that. We don't have a sayings gospel that is written in Aramaic. So I have, indeed, yes, looked at what the early church figures say, and what their evidence is of the authorship of the New Testament is not very good. I have still remain unconvinced that any of these people wrote any of these things. We have no evidence that Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John wrote the Gospels. It's a claim that we have no evidence for. There you go. All right, we'll bring up teacher. Teacher is not here. We'll bring up this person. They're not here either. Well, let me check the time real quick. I think we're actually just going to call it quits for today. I've been streaming for a while, so I'd like to thank everybody for being here. Thank you all for the likes, the shares, and the gifts. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for the support. I hope you all have a fantastic evening, and I will see you all later. Goodbye, everyone.